a breakdown with what's going on so far. So the way I've got it set up, I've primed the injection pump. So I've set up, I've got another little video, I've probably spoken about this, but I've set up fuel over here, fuel coming out, and this is just the pump. I've pumped into the line here, so it comes down, goes up. This larger hose is the main inlet. This other one here, this other hose, is where any excess fuel will come back out through the system, and I've got it dribbling down to this catch can, just a container. I've primed it all, so I've made sure fuel's gone through. There's cracking. This is probably the last thing to get the fuel out. After you've primed the pump, then you've got to bleed the area. So by grabbing a 17mm open ender and undoing those crack in them, the whole 4, and that's going to be when you're firing it. So you sort of can fire it and just try and bleed the area. Down in here on this particular model, this is a 4M40. It's not the it's a Pajero, not the leaker. The oil dipstick is here. I think the leak is because of the front mounting. The dipstick's here. But this pump here, down here, there's a see if I can go. There you go. There's a nut there. So that's a banjo type nut. You've got to crack that to bleed it, get air out as well, make sure fuel dribbles out. This is a solenoid, cut-off solenoid it's called. It's got a rubber cap on top. I'm lucky to have it still. That there basically, when you send power to it, it opens and lets fuel run through the system. When you shut your vehicle off, turn the power off, it closes and there's no more fuel, and that's what kills the engine. So I've learned. In behind here is a large bolt type screw. That's your fuel regulator, one of many sort of ways to regulate fuel or change how much flow. Look more into that yourself, it's very tricky, I'm no expert. So talking about the solenoid. So while I've got it on the engine stand to kick it over and make sure it runs, I've had to bring it back a bit. So I've got power off the battery. This is power, forget the black lead, this is the way I've got it set up. So I've got power running up this green cable, and it goes into the top left corner there. So I have now power going through this system, comes through all these wires and goes to the one where that nut is there. So that's my solenoid. I think it's called a fuel shut-off solenoid, and you will hear that clicking if it is working. I have pulled it out, replaced it, had an old one. There's a little bit to it as well. What else can I say? So I've got oil in it. I have tried to start it. I did get it going yesterday briefly. So this is just a recap because I don't think the video worked or whatever. So now the last thing I'm going to do is your glow plugs. If you've done a bit of research, you'll know these are your glow plugs on a diesel. They screw into the head. Instead of having like a petrol car carburetor or injected fuel, or petrol I should say, they have spark plugs. This has the glow plugs. When you send positive power to these glow plugs, down in below the end of them heat up, and then that allows heat in the chamber once it compresses and combusts to ignite the fuel in a roundabout way. So I've got the starter motor connected up, it's powered, positive up there. This wire here, I tap it onto that little little barb you can see here. So once I click onto that, that's going to hit the starter motor to engage. This cog here, this sprocket will come out and then spin the flywheel mass plate. Okay, so and as you can see, I've got handmade or homemade, this is just house electrical wiring. I've doubled over and made another huge solid wiring brace type lead. Got it clamped into there and back down to the negative. So normally this would be black, this would be red, but because I'm who I am, doing it this way, and it's going to work. So inlet, oxygen coming in, make sure that's clear. I have had it taped up to stop bugs or any debris getting down there while I'm not working on it. Turbo, of course, I had that covered, uncover it. What else? Make sure this is on. Oil will come out of here. Oil there, oil there. Where else did I have? I had a couple of things not plugged off properly, and I had oil leaking out. Oh, that's right, this banjo fit in here. Initially I didn't have that tightened up or on properly. It was leaking oil. Okay, so there's no water hooked up. I'm not going to have it running for long, so it shouldn't overheat. And enough dribble. I'm going to fire it up and get some footage. What else? Alright, so I've just used, if I can find them where I put them, my jumper leads. So the jumper leads, I will hook one end onto the positive and the other end will go up onto the glow plugs. So put the camera on the stand and I'll be back. Okay, so I think I've got all the air bled out. New solenoid in. I'm not going to try because it's so hot. Apparently I don't need to preheat my at this moment. I can only use arrow start, or sometimes we call it start your bastard here in Australia. So I haven't used this for over 25 years on a vehicle, except a forklift. But anyway, so intake. Okay, hopefully it hasn't drained back or anything silly. So open up the solenoid. There you are. Bit of fuel. All right. Okay. No massive oil coming out anywhere. I'm going to give it a bit more of a start your bastard. And that's open. Try and hold my throttle somewhere there, and okay. Fuel pressure seems to be pretty good. don't know about the glow plug, so I might just give that a take that off. Alright, everything's too hot. So I'm going to cancel it there for now. Progress, hopefully, haven't damaged it. Alright. So, heating up the glow plug. I've got power down to the other end of the there's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hopefully is enough. Solenoid is open for fuel. Don't think I should need any start, you bastard. Throttle. Fuel's running back in. Exhaust is warm. Warm. Excellent. So to stop it, all I did was pulled out the wire for the fuel solenoid shut-off switch. That one there. Excellent. Power's disconnected. We've got the fan going now because it's pretty in here. And make sure, guys, you always have, just be safe what's around you and have a fire extinguisher needed. Yeah, have a backup plan in case something goes wrong. Alright, so I've got a bit of an ejector leak here, one here, and a little bit up here. Happy as, really happy.